On to now, it's a guy named Pyrexx, who I know there's been a few stories on Rapzilla about him. And Pyrexx I met while doing ministry in prison. Going back to what I said in 2008, I got convicted about discipleship. I was just doing a concert there, but I felt like, man, I could disciple this guy. I could engage him in a conversation, and if he could give it to the Lord, he could be used by God in a great way because of his rap following and who he ran with. And sure enough, just writing him a letter, continuing that process with him, he's become someone that has been a great disciple, that's just making more disciples. And he's in the streets. He's rapping about what he's really doing, and I love that about him. He's the director of Disciple the Streets, that mission. We hired him in January. I've been growing from a single person operation to last year a 2-people operation to this year we are a 9-people operation, and actually just this month became a 10-people operation. And so when you think of Disciple the Streets, someone that can go to the streets, look like the streets, engage and speak the language of the streets, Pyrexx is a perfect fit for it. Only question is can he handle the pressure of going back to the streets in that environment and not relapse, not get tempted by women, not fall to pride, or arrogance, a lot of the things that happen with artists. And over the last 2 years, he's been tried and tested. I've put him in those environments, and he's been able to hold his own well. He's had a few hiccups in the road, but he's learned from those mistakes. And so I was like, what better person to hire to form a Christian army, a gang of guys from the streets than a guy like Pyrexx, who's already been walking with the Lord for a good 3 years now, and is still in touch with the streets, but also is in touch with what it means to be a Christian. Yeah, well, at any moment working with guys from prison, there's always a high risk of something triggering them to go back to drugs and alcohol. It could be the death of a loved one, all right? It could be someone aggressively provoking them. It could be fear. And so I never stop keeping my eyes open to the fact that they could fall at any time. With Pyrexx, he had several opportunities to fall. Of course, I can see Instagram messages from girls, so as far as women, I watched and observed him loving his wife, being a good husband to his wife, and being a father to his child. So seeing that was very important because he never did that before. He never knew how to do that. He had a father that didn't do a good job of showing him how to treat a woman. And so by me observing his relationship with his wife, seeing how he was fathering his kids, him crying on my shoulders for times of hurt and pain or struggle, observing his teachable spirit and attitude when it came to those hard times where he wanted to, buck on somebody who didn't look at him right or talk to him right. Him being willing to be taught, like, no, you need to hold back your anger. Be angry but sin not. Don't speak so quick. Don't be so quick to speak with anger. And just the way he would receive it, it was evident that this guy's in. He's in it to the death. And now all the kids that just flock to him and are just so impressed and love to dance with him and do the songs with him. I mean, it just brings great joy to me to know that he's part of our staff, because he's the real deal. There's no faking about him. He's going to let you see his failures and his successes. And I think people realize that he's just authentic like that.